Let's get started. And again, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's joining us from every different part of the world. It's lovely to have you here. It's amazing what technology does and brings us together like this with a common interest. And we're going to spend the next couple of minutes, the hour, really digging into a very, very interesting topic, which all of you, I'm sure, are really looking forward to listening from Oscar. And yeah, the whole entire landscape is really, really evolving so much as we speak. Uh, Also in the safe world with scaled agile and all the changes that are coming about. And today we're going to really dive into the world of leadership with your SPC certification and some of the changes that have been brought in by Scaled Agile, which are going to really help you grow even further in this direction. And we're going to learn more about how the SPC and ASPC certification complement enterprise transformation, the key differences between these two, how ASPCs shape strategic transformation at the portfolio level and the enterprise level. And without further ado, let me get in Oscar. Oscar, a very warm welcome to you. Again, a pleasure, as always, to have you here with
Thank you.
us. And yes, let's, if you can help us to just go to the next slide. I'll give a very brief introduction about Oscar, and Oscar, it'll be great that if you highlight a few of the things that that you're bringing on board in this rich discussion as well. Oscar brings in over 20 years of leadership expertise in high tech, banking, pharma, e-commerce, gaming, fuel, and automotive industries. So interesting to see all the insights he's going to be drawing from today, this evening. And Oscar's been at the forefront actually of digital transformation, helping companies with their lean agile transformations, has worked with many Fortune 500 organizations, supporting multiple safe transformations, specifically in the banking and automotive sectors. And this is one of the series of conversations we continue to have Oscar on. And yes, it's lovely to kick off this one and stay tuned for many more such conversations that we're going to be having with Oscar. And just a few housekeeping items for everyone who's in here today. All of you who have registered, joined us on Zoom. A special thank you to you, and we really hope to really unlock a lot of value in today's session. You will also receive a certificate of attending this masterclass, which will be useful for you in different, your continued education, SEUs, and all of that, PDUs, and and also stay tuned for something special that we're going to unlock later in the masterclass. All right. So with that, Oscar, let me hand it to you, and we're all at the edge of our seats.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Christabel. And thank you so much for the invitation. It's always an absolute pleasure to speak to you and to the team. And welcome also, everybody. Really appreciate it that you decided to spend the upcoming hour together with us. And as Christabel already mentioned, yeah, we will definitely, so maybe we'll go back to this slide. We'll definitely try to make sure that you will get as much value as possible. And as always, we'll try to share as much real life experience with you. So the topic for today will be, as you can see, stepping into the future of agile leadership with advanced SPC. So this is going to unlock the topic that was really, really hot, or is really, really hot now on, especially in the safe landscape. So what is the difference between the SPC certification? What is the difference between the advanced SPC certification? And why do we even have this advanced SPC certification while Scaled Agile decided to actually bring it to the market? Excuse me, and what it actually brings to you. And hopefully this masterclass is going to help you to make the decision whether or not you wish to upgrade your SPC certification into advanced SPC. But as always, we are going to talk about much more, especially about how the market looks right now, and yeah, what are the trends that you can see in it, and what do you need to do in order to basically not fall behind in this very competitive market. So thank you one more time, Christabel, for this introduction. So as an SPCT, obviously I do already run those advanced SPC classes, but my goal is not to basically encourage you to do the certification itself. I would really like this topic to help you to make the decision if it is right for you. So now let's take a look very briefly at the numbers. So here you have some SAFE at glance. Yeah, as you can see, SAFE is already a very mature framework. So more than 20,000 organizations worldwide use SAFE. But what is even more important is that nearly 75% of all the Fortune 100 organizations use SAFE, and they use it to scale agility. So if you are working with those Fortune 100 companies, there is really a huge chance that all of them are using SAFE. And this means that basically they need SAFE practice consultants, and they will need the advanced SAFE practice consultants in order to implement SAFE, to do and run this transformation, and we'll need SPCs and advanced SPCs in order to help them to basically deliver the goals and overcome the challenges that they are facing. At the same time, as you can already see, so those of you who have been in Sorrento and this year and visited and joined the SAFE Summit this year in lovely Italy, you see that SAFE has already hit and passed the 2 million people that have undergone SAFE training and various SAFE certifications. So this is an absolutely amazing number. So big shouts to all the SAFE community that is growing so rapidly. At the same time, every number is both an opportunity and a challenge. So the opportunity means, as we already said, that SAFE is still the number one framework for scaling agility, especially for those large organizations. So the demand and the need for this SAFE practice consultants and advanced SAFE practice consultants is still growing. At the same time, the market is really crowded. So many people who are, excuse me, who are currently talking to me, they ask me the question, yeah, Oscar, what can we actually do in order to make ourselves more visible? What can we do to differentiate ourselves in this market? Because let's be honest, it's a business, and every business is a competitive one. And although we as SPCs, SPCTs, and all the SAFE certificates are one big family, and that's something that I really value about being part of SAFE framework and SAFE team. At the same time, we know that the companies that we're working for are competing with one another, and this is a normal thing, and we have to invest obviously in ourselves in order to stay relevant in today's very competitive and very crowded market. So what should we do then? So here you have, as you can see, some SAFE statistics. So very briefly, definitely the SAFE roles still have higher earning potential than their alternatives. So I have said it already a couple of times, but I will say it one more time, that the SAFE practice consultant, so the SPC certification, was the most valuable one that I hold in my over 50 different certificates collection. So yes, everybody has its thing, his thing or her thing, and my wife, she always laughs at me that I'm collecting certifications, and I have over 50 of them. That's true, and but still, the safe practice consultant is the most valuable certificate that I hold in my collection. So if I would do right now, if I would have a choice whether to do some agile coaching certification or SPC certification or Lean Six Sigma certification, etc., a PMP certification, it would be a no-brainer for me. So I would still go with SPC, and the reason behind this is that, as you can see, it opens so many doors for you, and it's obviously opens this higher earning potential as well. Another really important thing is that, as you can see, the tech industry is still the first employer for SAFE, but there is already, as you can see, a huge potential in government and in finance as well. So we know that currently, especially the finance and the banking sector is currently under a huge safe and agile undergoing a huge safe and agile implementation and transformation. So there is definitely a lot of potential there. And government, so there are new government safe for government courses, and we see that there is an growing, especially in various countries in Europe and in the federal government in the US. There is a really huge appetite for agility, which actually already became a standard, as we know, in tech, and now it moves to traditional industries like the government or the finance, and it becomes a standard there as well. So a huge potential. And yes, definitely, most employers are required that the new hires need to be safe certified. And for the last couple of years I saw that having a safe certificate was really a great thing. It was differentiating you. Now, as it became a standard, I see when I look, for example, at the CVs and when I do the when I talk with various candidates during those calls, I see that, and I look at their CVs, they look really impressive, and most of them already have a bunch of safe certificates, and that's why, as you can see, that the SPC is still the most common certification listed, particularly for high-level positions with large organizations. So SPC became a standard if you want to perform various roles, and if you really want to try to get those jobs. But now we are going to talk a little bit and see what can we actually do to differentiate ourselves when the SPC market is also becoming very crowded. So what is the main difference between the SPC and the advanced SPC certification when you should think about actually upgrading your SPC to advanced SPC? I've prepared a short slide that can help us to summarize the main difference between both of them. So moving from SPC to advanced SPC, it's an evolution. So definitely we have to first talk a little bit about the requirements. And the requirements are as follows: that we definitely need to be an SPC with at least 1 year of experience in order to even be eligible to take the advanced SPC course. So definitely you first need to become an SPC, and I would strongly encourage you to at least have 1 year or even more years of experience before taking the advanced SPC class, because we are going to talk about during this class about very advanced topics, and without obviously this foundation knowledge and experience, you will not be able to benefit from this class fully and as much as you could if you had this knowledge and experience. So moving from SPC to advanced SPC is, as you can see, moving from being a general safe trainer to becoming an elite instructor who is authorized to deliver those advanced courses, including the Lean Portfolio Management, Release Train Engineer, Safe for Hardware in public, advanced agile product management, and obviously advanced safe Scrum Master. So what we saw already that many organizations have said that, yeah, it just it's not just because obviously it's a lot of money and many days and a lot of preparation for the exam. So it's a really huge time investment that you need to take in order to become an SPC. But still, many organizations said that they see that people simply can take this certification and start, and some of the people start immediately teaching advanced courses like Lean Portfolio Management, Release Train Engineer. No, definitely, that's a mistake. And I always say to all the people who want to become trainers, you really need to have the answers to very difficult questions that people will be asking you, and especially during those advanced courses like RTE or LPM, it soon becomes not only teaching the course but actually helping the people to solve really advanced problems that they have, and this is right, yeah. So it's not only teaching the course, it's also to actually give them the knowledge and help them with some really advanced consulting during those classes. So now we know that from this month, so from June, the new SPCs will not be able to teach those classes, and those SPCs who would like to maintain their credentials and would like to teach those classes in the future, from the end of the year, so from December, they will need to upgrade to advanced SPC. But at the same time, I believe that this is a move in the good direction, because if I'm a student or if I'm an organization and if I'm ordering an advanced course like LPM, I need to be sure that the person who is going to be delivering it has the knowledge and the experience, and the ASPC certification is going to guarantee that. The second one is that you move from being a certified consultant to verified transformation leader with field-proven experience. So definitely we value SPCs who will still be at the spearhead of all the safe implementations. When you look at the safe implementation roadmap, definitely who do you need? You need SPCs. So this still is valid, and this is not going to change. But at the same time, many organizations were complaining that how do we actually, I see an SPC over here and over there. And, in CV, you can write everything. And on LinkedIn, we all looked really great. But many organizations were complaining that how do I have, how do I know, how do I actually have a guarantee that the person who is not going to only help us in safe implementation, but is going to help us to overcome various problems that the organizations are facing currently after years of implementing safe. For example, we would like to go to the LPM level. Yeah, we would like to upgrade ourselves, etc., etc. How should we do that? And this ASPC certification is going to guarantee that. And the reason behind this is that the certification shows that you need to have at least 1 year of experience, and you need to have also field-proven experience in order to pass the certification class, because during the class there is a really cool lab, which is one-day event when you are actually looking and analyzing real life examples, and where you're analyzing real life cases, and you really need to show and you need to prove to the class and to the instructor that, hey, I have a solution for that, and I'm eligible to actually help to solve those challenges for my clients in real life. The third one is to moving from facilitating safe implementations to shaping enterprise-wide change with executive sponsorship. So SPCs are still the number one people which we value, who are going to facilitate implementing safe on various levels. At the same time, and this is actually something that corresponds very, very well with the next point, especially the C-level executives in various organizations, they are also requesting that, hey, we really need somebody who can help us, as I've already told you, to overcome some really, really huge challenges that the organizations are facing after investing years in safe implementation. So they are already experts. Yeah, they don't need to be taught about business agility. They already have agile release trains. They are already, are running PIs, and everything looks fine. But now they would like to go to the next level, like, for example, introducing LPM. Now they would like to see more real benefits, tangible benefits, like increasing profitability with their safe implementation. Now they would like to, for example, include the executives and the C-level who are not yet part of those this transformation into the journey. And they really need those trusted advisors who have to have this knowledge, and they have to have this experience in order to do this. And the ASPCs are going to guarantee that. And the last one is moving from limited market visibility to top-tier brand credibility and differentiation in the crowded landscape. So let's be honest, there are thousands and thousands of SPCs now on the market. And as I've already told you at the very beginning, a very competitive market, and we are competing with one another when working in different companies, or when trying to get to lead some of those transformations worldwide. And when there is crowd, there is always less visibility. So currently, I see that if you are really bounding your career with safe, and if you are really a trainer, and if you are really like to lead those safe implementations, and you're thinking about this very seriously, then I couldn't think about a better step other than having the ASPC certification, which basically makes you stand out in this crowded landscape. And for me, it is a very short-term investment. As always, I tell the people who think about taking an SPC, if you really know what you're going to do with your SPC, like, for example, you will start training, you will start consulting, you will etc., then the SPC is going to pay off in no time. And the same thing with advanced SPC. If you're already doing all those things, now you would like to stand out a little bit more and take yourselves and your career into the next level, then I promise you that it's going to also pay off very fast. So long story short, moving from SPC to advanced SPC is moving from delivering the framework itself to leading the enterprise-wide change, meaning that the SPCs are still the ones who will, they have the power, obviously they have the credentials in order to implement safe, but the advanced SPCs are going to help the organizations to move to a different level, especially when we are talking about business agility, something that we are going to discuss in the next couple of slides, and solving real business problems to the organizations worldwide. And obviously, if you have any questions, please feel free to write them on the chat, and there will be time to talk about them during the Q&A section. And when I'm talking about to various executives in organizations worldwide, I see, as you can see, that the companies across the sectors and industries are all expecting the common problems. So I'm sure that if we would have a discussion together, we definitely would see that most of the organizations see that they cannot improve systematically. So it's always it's always something around. We will have a plan to implement SAFe. We will have a plan to be agile by certain year, and I always ask them what's next. Okay, so obviously this is a lifetime journey, and you cannot think about it as a project, but you have to think about it as an evolution. There is too little visibility, so the executives especially, they cannot see where they are investing their money and how to connect the strategy with the execution. There is always late delivery, so no matter how how fast we want to be, the technology, as you can see, it changes so drastically and so fast that even if we are on time today, if we will not improve systematically, then the delivery will be late tomorrow. The problems are discovered, as you can see, always too late, and we are just reacting to the problems. We are not proactively looking at them. And I believe that two things which we currently see that drive the whole market need for change is the massive growth in complexity. So unfortunately, I see organizations when till last month, so till April, they were still planning because there are projects running in projects, not working in product-based approach, and it took them a couple of months at the beginning of the year to even plan their work, and then they will use the rest of the year to execute. Yeah, so we simply cannot operate like that. But the reason why it happens, because as you can see, the complexity is growing so massively that it's even hard for us to plan the work for the upcoming year. I'm not even talking about the execution, because we know that most of those projects will definitely be late at the end of the year. And the uncertainty. So today nothing is certain. Today you think that you operate under certain circumstances. Obviously, we'll not talk about politics, but you can wake up tomorrow and you will see that you're living in a totally different world, and you need to inspect and adapt according to what's happening. This is our reality, and this is, as you can see, the reality that the executives. This is the reality that the C-level especially sees today. And if you're thinking about what are the challenges and the problems that make those people in their organizations have sleepless night, there are those that you see here on the slide. So what you must do with this? You must definitely promote flow with Lean Agile mindset. You must lead the implementation. Those are for the leaders. But what's even more important, that's why I've highlighted it red, that the leaders, they always need to get results. So it's not only to get inspired. It's not only that they need to lead the implementation. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, they will be the ones who will be blamed if the results, especially the financial results, will not be right. So we also have to understand, and this is something that I had a really good discussion with Adam Matis during the SAFe Summit in Sorrento, and we did a podcast about it, that in most of the situations when I talk, especially to my colleagues, to agile coaches, people who help the organizations with their implementations, they always blame the transformations which are not successful. They always blame it on the leadership. Yeah, you know what? It was not successful because we didn't get enough support from the leaders, because the leaders, they do not understand. The leaders, they don't want to change, etc., etc. But it's such we cannot talk about it like that, yeah, because it's such a short thing. And looking at the people and the executives from the perspective that most of the people do not know. So most of the leaders they are very lonely. You have to keep it in mind, and I can tell you this from my experience, because I have seen level experience, and I have been both a COO and CEO for many years. And I tell you that the leader always is alone. And whenever people are going even when we are celebrating successes and people are going to a party, the leader already thinks 2 or 3 steps ahead and worries about what is coming. So we if we will keep thinking as the agile community that we will be blaming leaders for not being successful because they have not given us the mandate, that they have not given us enough support to lead this transformation, then we also, as the agile community, risk of becoming the relics of the past age. Because I can tell you that the leaders are sick and tired of hearing that. They have problems as well, and in many occasions their biggest problems is the next steering committee or the next shareholders meeting that they are facing, and they are looking for people who can help them to actually deal with their problems and deal with their challenges. Is this hard? Yes. Is this one maybe 10 or 100 times harder than helping and coaching a middle manager? Yes, it is. But at the same time, it presents so much opportunity for those people who can actually do this, who will become those trusted advisors and will help the leaders to get it done and to lead them through the implementation, but most importantly, to get the results. So if you are thinking about, and we are going to talk about this in just a second, to elevate your career and to move to top tier consulting and to start consulting and coaching not only middle management, but also the executives, the C leadership, etc., then the advanced SPC course and certification is going to prepare you for that, and it's going to allow you to do this. So now let's dive deeper into what are the topics that we are what are the topics, the lessons that we are going through during the advanced SPC certification, and how they actually can help you not only to get the certificate but also to get the knowledge, the practical knowledge that you will be able to use straight away in your very safe implementations, and they are going to allow you to get to those results that we were talking a second ago. So the first topic that we are talking about during the ASPC certification training is developing a transformation strategy. And definitely the SPCs, they play, as you know, the critical role in leading the change. And as I've already told you, the leaders, especially, they do not have the knowledge, they do not have the skills to lead the change from the very beginning. So we need SPCs who are going to be at the spearhead of this Lean-Agile transformation, and they will be leading the change in their organizations or the organization that they are consulting. But there we will find ourselves always in a position at another tipping point when we will see that without those executives, we will not be able to succeed with our Lean-Agile transformation. And the reason behind this is that the transformation is only successful if we are changing the way how we work, if we are aggressively removing those impediments, if we are breaking the organizational silos, etc., etc. And we can do this up to a point with the help of the middle management, but we will always find ourselves standing against the wall, and some of those very bold decisions will require the help of the executives and of the C-level leaders, and that's why we need somebody who is going to help them also to go through this journey, and who is going to become their trusted advisor, and who's going to navigate them. So the transformation, as you know, it requires both strategy and tactics. So we need to have a vision. What are we actually trying to do? What are we actually trying to achieve here? And we need to have a roadmap of how are we going to implement it. And obviously, the safe implementation roadmap helps us with the actual implementation a lot. But now, what I see that most organizations and most consultants are struggling with is actually the vision. What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish when we are implementing SAFe? And unfortunately, most of the people are still I would say that when I would do a survey, or when I would when I'm talking to people, more than 90%, or even more, maybe more, even more than 95%, are always talking about those transformation outcomes. So having higher engagement, improving the time to market, improving the quality, improving the productivity, etc., etc. And don't get me wrong, although those are really important factors, as you can see, they are leading indicators of the results, the business outcomes that we have here on the right. And I've already told about it in one of the webinars that we did with Christabel a couple of months ago, that currently, especially the leaders within the organizations, in those uncertain times, they are looking for higher revenue, lowering the cost, lowering the risk, or being able to manage the risk more incrementally, and with having happier customers, more satisfied customers. And all those efforts on the left, as you can see, they basically are connected to SAFe implementation. But implementing SAFe and being safe or being agile was never the goal. Yeah, and now it might sound a little bit controversial. What do you mean, Oscar? What implementing SAFe wasn't the goal? Yes, it was. It was never the goal. The goal was actually to deliver higher revenue, lower the costs, or lower the risk, and make our customers more satisfied. And to the SAFe, agile, whatever other frameworks you are talking about, they are only the vehicle that allows the organizations to get there, because the profit is what drives the organizations. Without profit, there is no money and no time for investing even in SAFe implementation or in any other various agile trainings, etc., etc. So this is the biggest shift that we currently see on the market, when most of the consultants and most of the consulting companies are still talking about implementing SAFe, about being agile, etc., etc., but very little tell them and help the organizations how we are actually going to the SAFe implementation, how it's actually help us to generate higher revenue. And those who will be able to actually help the organizations to together, especially the executives, will be the ones who will be the most successful in the consulting market of tomorrow. And guess what? During the SAFe ASPC training, we are preparing you to run a really important workshop. For me, basically, it's the most important workshop that I have ever run, and I have run hundreds of them during the last couple of years. So this is a part of the workshop which is all about measuring the benefits of the SAFe implementation. And as you can see, it helps us to connect with those transformation objectives, as you can see over here, and the desired transformation outcomes, the time to market, quality, productivity, workforce engagement, etc., etc., as we discussed, to the desired business outcomes that we talked about a second ago. And it's the ultimate bridge between IT and the business, because the transformation objectives are going to tell us how we are going to transform IT, how we are going to transform the way how we do business. But even more importantly, we're going to connect this with the desired business outcomes, and it's going to tell us how, for example, limiting this time to market by launching those cross-functional agile release trains, removing those impediments, breaking those organizational silos is going to affect the revenue. And even more importantly, as you can see, we are going to write the OKRs for both of those. So we are going to see those leading indicator metrics and the desired transformation outcomes, and we are going to correlate them with the desired business outcomes and the lagging indicators. And we are going to observe, and we will show the leaders on, for example, the quarterly basis, how our efforts on the left correspond and move those numbers on the right. And most of the organizations, they do not have this visibility. They still think, and they are correct, that most of the implementations, including SAFe, are just like a black hole. We're throwing money into it, but we do not see the benefits and the outcomes that we really are looking for. And the ASPC will be the ones who will help the organizations to finally bridge the gap. Because I promise you that if we as Agile community will not help the executives to solve their problems very fast, then they will move to something else and they will find somebody else who will. And this is a risk that we are all facing right now. Okay, so this was the first topic that we discussed and we prepare you for during this ASPC training. The second one is excelling with lean portfolio management. So I know that most of you, I hope that most of you already know this, that the LPM moving to lean portfolio management is the next big thing that most of the organizations are currently facing, especially the ones who have already implemented SAFe many years ago, but now they would like to especially connect the strategy with the execution, and are looking for very experienced consultants who can help them to basically move and go through this journey. And we know that the SPCs, they play a critical role in LPM, because currently on the implementation roadmap, we see that there is this LPM training both at the very beginning of the roadmap, at the very beginning of the journey. When you are already planning your SAFe implementation, you should already think about how are you going to connect the strategy with the execution, and how are you going to prepare your organization in working in value streams, and especially budgeting in order to avoid the situations that I've told you about, that we are like, it's April and we are still planning because the budgets are built of hundreds of different projects and cost centers, etc., and it's simply it takes too much time and too much effort to deal with it in a matter of weeks, and it takes us months. And but there is also the LPM training and LPM implementation at the end of the roadmap, meaning that now we also have some advanced LPM trainings as well, when the organizations have already started their LPM implementation, and they are now looking for experts who can help them to, for example, launch new portfolios or redesign the way how they implemented it a couple of years before. And now the LPM is only you need to be ASPC in order to lead this training and in order to lead the LPM implementation. And I think once again that this is a move in the right direction, because LPM is a beast itself, and there are many of us SPCTs who are specializing in LPM only, and I see this one of the biggest challenge that most of the organizations are facing. And I have implemented LPM in various different organizations when we had more than 100 of teams working together. So the risk that you're going to do something wrong, and the severity of the wrong decisions can really cost not only millions but even more of euros or dollars. That's why we need those trusted advisors, and we need people who have really hands-on experience in implementing LPM in various organizations, and that they will help the others to do this successfully. And we know that this is super important for the leaders, because as we already said, the leaders, they are not stupid on something totally different. They are very, very wise and intelligent people. But the problem that they are facing right now is that at the enterprise level, when they are making the decisions how we are going to transform our business till the time when it actually hits the portfolio backlog, and then the agile release train backlog and the team backlog, etc., they have already lost visibility 10 times, and they do not see how they are making right decisions, but they do not see and they do not have control over how they are implemented. And LPM, moving from connecting the strategy with the execution, is something that is helping them. So if you're looking at this slide and you're thinking, the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh my gosh, Oscar, there's so much going on here, then yes, there is. And as I've told you, LPM is not an easy topic. It's a very complicated system, and yeah, when looking at our safe principles, apply systems thinking, we really have to think about the organization who is building the solution as a system itself. And as you can see, to be able to move from this situation, like we are Amazon, and our organizational strategy is that we want to be the most customer-centric organization in the world, and we want to keep it that way. Okay, so we are going to write strategic teams like what Amazon does right now, that we are going to maintain our #1 position on the market, and we will start delivering those packages under an hour via drones in different parts of in different states in the United States. Perfect. And now we know that this is our strategic team, so we don't want to wait till next year and for the next budgeting, etc., etc. We want to start feeding our value stream, and we want to start working and start investing in this straight away. And by the way, we have two strategic teams. The first one is the autonomous delivery via drones. The second one is autonomous delivery via autonomous delivery cars. Okay, how should we divide and spread the budgets? How are we going to feed the epics, the enablers that are going to help us to deliver those products into the market as fast as possible? But once again, we don't want to wait 10 years before we know that we are successful. What KPIs and portfolio performance can we set up in order to get a very, very fast feedback from our customers to see that we are spending our money correctly? This is a big challenge, but at the same time, now, as you can see, if I'm the senior executive and I'm thinking about organizational strategy, I now get a real-time view and the visibility into how I'm spending my money, and how those efforts that we are investing in help us to maintain our position for us becoming or staying the most customer-centric organization in the world. And the ASPCs are the ones who are going to help the organizations to achieve that. And we as SAFE are communicating this very clearly to the organizations and to those leaders that, hey, if you want to get this level of expertise, you definitely need to invest in having an ASPC in your organization. Because Today, we face a lot of uncertainty, as we discussed, and we are facing a lot of risks. And the only way how to mitigate the risk is to, as you can see over here, invest in those in building our products incrementally. So here we have the classical lean startup cycle that we do not throw our all money and budgets in the 3-year project only to find out at the very end that we have delivered it on time and on budget. But guess what? Nobody uses our solution. The client is not successful, or the others were there before us, and we are simply too late to the party. So the only way to reduce the risks today, as you can see, is by building and developing the minimal viable product, and by incrementally investing in a solution, and only when seeing that the outcomes are right, that we are generating enough money, that it generates enough profit for our company, that then I decide to invest more. It's too risky today to say that, hey, I will invest in something in an initiative that we will be working for the next 3 years on, and I will either win or lose at the very end. No, I don't want it as an executive. I want an epic, and I want to have the full control that every quarter, for example, I'm going to see the results, and based on those results, I will make a decision. Should I invest more? Should I put it on hold, etc., etc.? And this gives the executives the power and the visibility and the empowerment that they need, that they are now currently lacking. And the ASPCs are the ones that are going to guide them through this very difficult process. And speaking about the leaders, the next topic is engaging the leaders. And as we have already discussed, the leaders, they always eat alone, and they always eat last. And leaders, they do not have a lot of friends in every company. Let's be honest with that. So either we, as safe and agile community, will be angry at them all the time, like many people do, and we will post those endless posts on LinkedIn, and we will basically do this to our doom and to our disaster, or we will start thinking and we will build empathy with the leaders, and we will know how to engage them, because it's not that simple to engage the leaders, especially when you do not understand the main problems that they are facing, and you are still thinking about that their goal is implementing safe and their goal is agile transformation. We know it is not, and it shouldn't be, because if I'm a CEO, my goal is to make sure that the company is profitable, because if it's not, then who pays for the energy, who pays the bills, etc., etc. And I need to have the people who are going to help me to lead the change, to help me to understand how the lean agile mindset will help me to solve my problems, and why the flow really matters, and how can I accelerate business agility to get to the results that I really need. And during this training, we are helping you to understand what the leaders really want, what the leaders really need, and to build the empathy with them, to be able to help them to solve their both short and long term goals and challenges that they are facing. And as you know, communication is a skill like every other, and it needs to be, it can be learned, it can be taught, and it needs to be practiced. So I will promise you that if you have not engaged, especially with the executives before, you will be very surprised what are the main challenges that they are facing. And I can promise you that after this training, you will get the skills needed to start practicing it and to become the trusted advisor to those senior roles on the market. Because we know that being a lean agile leader is changing the mindset and leading with the principles and leading by example and leading the change, etc., etc. But at the same time, being an effective change leader is something totally different, because most of the senior executives, they have not been trained to the disruptive and so fast evolving market that we face now. They were trained for building organizations like the ones that were built for the 20th century, for building it when we valued stability the most. But there is no stability anymore. But guess what? We are not going to erase 40 years of experience and a couple of executive MBA studies, etc., etc. So we really need to learn how to change the mindset of the leaders, but to grow them, and how to show them that we are going to not, just like Kotter says, we are not going to trash everything you know, but we are going to build on top of it, and we are going to help you to prepare, for example, for your next stakeholders or shareholders meetings, and we are going to help you to bring the numbers how the Lean Agile implementation has increased the profitability in the last quarter. And this is a skill that not very little consultants have, and this is the most desired skill from the companies that the companies are currently requesting for, from my experience. Because we already know that the organizations who have been successful in their safe transformations, as you can see, they are learning faster than the competition. And because today, in today's fast evolving landscape, we know that and in the digital economy, we know that the only truly sustainable advantage is to be able to quickly understand our customers' needs and satisfy them faster and better than our competition. So we need to be able to deliver and to learn faster, but we also need to change the culture. So let's be honest, the organizations who were successful were not only the ones who changed how they worked, but they also changed how they think, and they have changed their culture again. And this is not a myth, and this is not only a domain of startups. I can promise you that legacy organizations worldwide are now making really bold moves in order to stay competitive. But at the same time, is it hard, or is it easy to change the culture? Is the hardest thing to do. Once again, this is a skill that can be learned, and we are preparing you not only and this is the difference between the SPCs, I believe, and the advanced SPCs, that the SPCs will concentrate on delivering and learning faster. Yes, this is a super important goal, but there will be very, very few who will be able to change the culture in the organizations. And without changing the culture, we will not succeed with our safe and agile implementations. And you basically know this. And the last topic is pursuing relentless improvement. So when we look at our safe core values, we know that we need to have a really constant sense of urgency. As we already said, we need to be able to reflect and adapt quickly. And that's why, as you can see, relentless improvement is one of our core values that we are trying to optimize the whole, and we know that it is a journey that is never going to end. And this, during the workshop, we will be helping you and give you a model of promoting a constant sense of urgency. So this is basically moving from projects to products using SAFE and using our plan, do, check, adjust models. Because most of the organizations, they are still thinking about their agile implementations as projects. We will be agile till 2030 or something like that. This doesn't make sense. The only way how we will be successful is by promoting this constant sense of urgency And here you have the model which is going to help you to promote the relentless improvement within the organizations that you're working in or within the organizations where you will be consulting. Because we know once again that the main difference between those organizations who are successful currently and those organizations who struggle is the ones who struggle, they haven't mapped their value streams and they have focused too much on agility itself. But the ones that are successful, they have mapped their value streams from the opportunity or threats to when this opportunity is leveraged or when this threat is being dealt with, and they know and they understand that the goal was never agility itself, but it was business agility. Allow the organizations to quickly react to opportunities and threats, living in the constant sense of urgency. But as we discussed, we already talked a little bit about the situation in the world and about the politics. We know that there is a need for constant sense of urgency, because sometimes you might fall asleep in one situation and on the next day somebody could say that everything has changed, and we really the ability to quickly respond to opportunities and threats, it's not only a nice thing to have, it's simply a key survival skill. And the organizations who are not going to be able to exceed the skill, they will be very, very soon out of the market. And during this APM training, we are helping you how to not only prepare the organizations to build this sense of urgency and to build this continuous delivery pipeline, as we might say, for business agility, but we are also helping you to measure how well the organizations are moving towards those 7 core safe competencies. So how basically agile are we on the organizational level, but how much value does it bring? But also we are going to help you to measure and to improve the flow. So how fast are we able to deliver it to the market? But even more importantly, and maybe the most importantly, we are going to help you to measure the outcomes of our work. Because don't get me wrong, many people we know that we work in the age of AI, and that's totally fine. I cannot imagine working with my wife jokes that I have my friend ChatGPT, and I can't imagine living without him or her, as you whatever you call AI today. But even if AI is going to help us, and we know that it's going to help us to accelerate 10 times, 100 times, whatever the numbers, if we will not be delivering the desired outcomes, if we will not actually improve our profitability, if we will not improve our customer satisfaction, etc., it will not matter how fast we will be. So first we need to concentrate on the outcomes, and only after that we need to improve the flow and getting it to the market faster, improving the customer satisfaction and the return of investment of our investments. And this is the biggest thing I believe that the ASPC is preparing you for, to really take a deep dive on improving the flow and on coaching the flow. And already, wow, the time flies by really fast. So 3 years ago, Chris James, the former CEO of Scaled Agile, said those very famous words during the SAFE Summit in Prague, that the flow is the new agile. And the reason behind this is that now, when we are looking at flow-based systems, we know that there are sometimes hundreds or thousands of steps and teams in between, from the trigger to the value at the very end. And as we know from systems thinking, the slowest component is always going to drag down the system, and any improvement made outside of this biggest bottleneck or this biggest challenge is basically an illusion. conclusion. We as ASPCs need to help the organizations to coach the flow and to move this game to a very, very different level. When agility itself is not enough anymore, and it's very good at team level and local level, but we don't want to optimize locally, we want to optimize the entire system, and the ASPCs are going to definitely help with that. Where, as you can see, we're going to help you to apply the metrics to improve those decision making, and this is going to give those leadership, especially the visibility, how well we are doing on portfolio level when we are talking about outcomes, flows, and competency. And those numbers will be used to lead the transformation and to justify the investment in those transformation, and they will help the leaders to also be successful in the meetings that they are attending. And if you will be able to deliver this flow-based and metric-based model that will help them to improve making the decisions, and by not have to trust our guts, but actually be able to make the decisions based on data, then I promise you that is going to stand. You are going to stand out so much on the entire safe and also the consulting landscape, because this is the biggest need, the visibility and the numbers that the leaders are currently facing. And if you will deliver it to them, I promise that they will be very, very grateful. So to sum up, the Safe Practice Consultant certification is still the #1 certification on the market. Nothing will change that. So SPC is still the king. By the way, by renewing your SPC certification, you will be renewing all your other certifications, including the ASPC certification. So still, if you're an SPC, and many people have asked for that, will I have to pay extra to stay ASPC in the future? No, the SPC is still the #1 certification on the market. But on the other hand, if you would like to become, and I believe that now maybe less than 1% of all the SPCs on the market have the ASPC certification. So if you would like to be now this early adopter and be in this 1% of the people worldwide, then it is the best time to invest, because there is a huge need, as you can see, for those skills, and those who will gain them the fastest will be the most successful. Like we already said, this is your time to be able to use SAFe and to be able to react very, very fast to opportunity, that one that arises in front of you. And please remember, and this is the main message that we heard from Andy during the SAFe Summit in Sorrento, and from the whole Scaled Agile team, and I really love it, that the ability to solve real business problems is the best measure of SAFe success. So, and currently, very little people and very little consultants still look at this from this perspective. And if you will be able, and you should be able, to help especially the executives to solve the real business problems, then you will be very, very successful on the market. And those who will not be able to do this in the next 2, 3, 4 years, I promise you, they will be out of the market, because now the business, they need results, and they need them really, really fast, and they do not have time, and they are right, to invest in agility itself. They need to work more, faster, and incrementally in solving real business problems now, not tomorrow, not in the next 3 or 6 months. And as you can see, those problems that you see over here, so how can we, for example, organize our portfolio to maximize our investment, or how basically should we coordinate across many agile release trains, etc., etc., or how can we address the bottlenecks and those delays? So those are the real business problems that most of the organizations are facing right now, as we saw at the very beginning. they can be now solved with the new safe competencies that are built around them. And especially organizing safe portfolios, or coordinating large solution delivery, or accelerating the product flow, those are very, very advanced topics. And we need people who know a lot and have field experience around them to be able to solve them. And the ASPC certification is basically preparing you for all of those things to become the trusted advisor for the executives, for the C-levels for tomorrow, and to help them to solve their biggest real business problems, and to help their organizations to become more successful, more profitable, and to be able to deal with their risks incrementally, and to organize themselves around portfolios to accelerate the value flow on all the levels, even on the highest ones. So if I would summarize it, what's the main reason why you should take the ASPC certification is when you really want to elevate your career and to help the organizations to start solving real business problems. When I would say it's not the best time to take the certification is if you do not have at least 1 year of experience, obviously, if you are not eligible, and if you feel that all those things that we are talking about today are a little bit in front of you, yeah, maybe it's not the time in your career, then I really, really encourage you to work a little bit more on the trainings, work a little bit more about lean portfolio, try to help the middle management to solve their problems, and maybe in the next year or 2 years come back and take this certification training. So it's not for everyone, but I promise you that the ones that will take it, they definitely will see the tangible, real business value from it straight away, and it's a very, very short-term investment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Oscar.